Hey Dramatics, welcome back, and we have just finished episode 4. Y'all, that was so much of an emotional impact to unpack. What did you think of this episode?
This episode, I almost wanted to cry a little bit because we're going further back into Tentajon's, story and how he was born and what happened with his mom and just the cruelty that he just was faced with all along, like even up until he moved into the palace and everything. It's just like he was cursed from birth and being labeled as a monster, and people are trying to care for him, but because of the situation that they're in, they're kind of fending for themselves and having to face all these hardships. And it's like, oh, well, you resent me, and he understands, like he gets it,
right?
He doesn't harbor any ill will towards them at all, but it's so sad seeing how from the time that he was even born, like he was already hated and just like, I don't know.
Hated for no reason.
Yeah.
Other than him just drawing breath while someone else could not, that being his mom. And with his other nanny, I don't resent her overall, because I'm like, I get the reason why she felt the way she did. I hate that she betrayed him in order to go back home, but I'm like, that is a complete human feeling that she had, and I understood it. Now, does it make it right in hindsight of him being, well, at this time he's not really a child anymore, he's already like, I guess, an adult by this time, but it's still someone you have raised for a long time, even though this child wasn't your own. I know that was a tough undertaking. It wasn't what you asked for.
Yeah. It wasn't like she volunteered, like the other nanny volunteered.
Right.
And she got kind of caught up in the whole thing trying to help her out. It's not intentional. It's just like, I did not want to be here. I should not be facing this hardship. None of us should.
Right.
And having to rationalize that without taking it out on the kid. And
right.
It's just like, damn, my feels.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that she was already of the mind of like, there's something not right with this child.
Why does he have teeth?
Why does he have teeth? Why did he immediately wake up after being fed blood? Why is it after he got bullied, he immediately just like, yeah, can I shank them? Like, I'm done with all of that.
He was like, well, can I kill them? And it was just so like he was just asking about the weather.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
So I can see her just doing like, the sign of the cross and be like, like, we need some holy water and some blessings, because this is not helping this child. There's something else that's unearthly wrong with him. But he does come with some sincerity, even though he doesn't feel it. He still inquires after her health, and even though he has no understanding of it, because he's born with no emotions, no love threads.
Right.
So,
and even with him learning how to imitate other people and learn how to imitate Zhao Jun, and because he's like, oh, well, he's popular and people respect him, and people don't bully him,
right?
Because he smiles and he does all these things. Let me try to be like him. Let me try to become him.
Yeah.
Not realizing that that's not really something you can do. And part of what makes, Zhao Jun so likable is because of his status and his wealth and his privilege, that he has none of that. Even though technically he's a prince himself, he's not given that same respect because he's, a hostage. He's a pawn. So there's no respect granted to him, and like the fifth prince or whatever.
Oh, he is a monster. And it seemed like nothing ever changed from this time when he was a child versus now. He always had a group of people around him doing his dirty work for the most part.
It was interesting to see how his first demon powers were granted to him really against his will. Like, he was just like this alternate universe where he had a mom that loved him and his dad loved him, and he could ascend the throne and he was happy, only for Shiwa to show up and be like, that's his nightmare. Like, everything was going so smooth. And then she pops up and it's like, no,
descending into hell.
Yeah.
Immediate hell.
Who are you expecting? Who are you actually trying to see? Like, and seeing how he was like whoever he made a pact with, I don't know what to call him, like the devil or something, but it's just like, oh no, this is part of your ascension. This is, imagine what you can do with, they can't harm you if you have these powers. And you could sense that he's tempted by it, because obviously he doesn't want to be abused anymore. But at the same time, it's not something he truly consented to. It happened to him. And so you can't really blame him necessarily, because it's like these are things that's being shoved into him, kind of like that weird alternate timeline of, okay, well, you didn't die at this specific point when you were supposed to, so how do you gain these other powers? And seeing a lot of that is being forced.
Right.
And, you know, him figuring out like, oh my God, that wasn't a dream, that was real. Like, I really have these. And you could kind of see him being a little bit tempted by that power. I'm interested to see what will happen in episode 5. Especially because, you know, now that we know the context of, let's just say Scholar Wu or whatever.
Like who
the guy that got the wasp in the ear.
Stuart Wu.
Stuart Wu. Seeing how the context of why, you know, he went back in and killed him, it's like, okay, that gives me a lot
gonna
of context.
finish you off, yeah.
And especially because it's not just something malicious he's just doing just for the fun of it. You could tell, like, he, in some way, even though he couldn't really feel anything, he still cared for his caretakers.
Yes.
And was like, she's being upset and bothered, and she's not liking this interaction. I'm going to take note of that for later.
Right.
And so it's not just him killing for the sake of killing. Like, in his mind, it's like, okay.
Right. In the series, the majority of the time, whoever is harmed or dies at his hands is usually someone that has deserved it. There's only one, and I won't tell you about that one. Like, we'll get to that part, that I feel is not on that same level of being deserved. So, but for the most part, a lot of his dealings with people is reactionary. Yeah. Like, if you didn't mess with me, I had no problems with you, but you messed with the wrong one on the wrong day. Yeah. That's why I'm just like, a lot of his future comeuppance against people, I'm not mad about.
Because it seems like he's willing to take on whatever beatings and abuse, but it's like when you abuse someone that has cared for me in some way, in their own way, that's when I have a problem. So it's interesting to see how his attachment to people is a little bit different, but he shows that he has like some attachment in some way, even if it's not the standard, like, oh, we're friends, we're homies.
Right.
But this person stayed with me all this time and cared for me, even though they resent it, even though they don't want to be here.
They still did it.
They still did it anyway. So I'm going to protect that person. And like, you know, Zhao Wu was friendly to me, and, you know, he protected me from the bullies and all that. And I want to pay it forward. Anyway.
Right.
So,
right.
But seeing how once he like earned that demon power strength, the dream demon, and that cured everybody else in the forest, I was like, damn, even when he gets something that could like do some real damage and harm, it actually helps the other people around him.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, there's still capacity in him for good, even though he didn't want Dream Demon's power. He didn't really consent to getting it. It's just like, okay, well,
it's like he did and he didn't, because he kind of already, I guess, like agreed with this devil before. So it's like the devil's like, well, I can help you out along the way. And I think also because he's so tired of feeling powerless all the time, this was his to get his upper hand, because I think like everyone's kind of thirsty when you're feeling cornered. You kind of want a little bit of power back.
I'll take anything.
Just make it stop.
Yeah. I just want the abuse to stop.
But now I think with this, he's going to feel a lot more, you know, pun intended, empowered with what all he's going to do. And I think with that, he will try and leave the kingdom soon. Yeah. So, I think like that's pretty much the basics of episode 4. So what is your speculation for episode 5? Ooh. I already kind of know, so I won't give mine.
I can't really say too much, because I'm like, I don't want to jump the gun too much.
It's pure speculation. What do you think?
Especially because Xiaowu was a very big part of like showing him that he could potentially dream, and like what would happen if he actually dreamt and had like nightmares and stuff. What would it look like? And her being sort of tied to him unlocking that was like a big deal. So yes, I'm interested to see how that's going to happen going forward. Yeah, I don't know what to expect at this point. I'm just like, all right, let's go. Let's get to the next episode.
Which is going to be a good one. It is a good one. So I guess let us jump back into episode 5, and we'll get back with you guys on the next episode, because, hey, it's just our thoughts.